President Sisi reviews the progress on the universal health insurance system. Egypt reaffirms its unwavering support for UNRWA. And UNRWA Commissioner General praises Egypt's crucial role in delivering aid to the Gaza Strip. You're watching Q News with me, Henny Saif, and these are the news in Egypt. Egypt's President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has met with Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli and Health Minister Khaled Abdel Ghaffar to review progress on the universal health insurance system. President al-Sisi was briefed on the second phase covering Kafr al-Sheikh, Matruh, North Sinai, Damietta and Minya, and instructed swift integration of these governorates while considering Alexandria's inclusion. President al-Sisi emphasized the private sector's role in supporting healthcare and ordered the speedy completion of Nile Medical City, Nile Children's Hospital, central labs in Badr and the capital medical city. He directed finalization of legislation regulating private medical facilities, studied new disease control centers, and stressed reducing surgical waiting lists, supporting children's health, and addressing Egypt's demographic challenges. Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati has declared Gaza's famine to be entirely man-made and a direct result of Israeli occupation. At a press conference with UNRWA's Commissioner General Philippe Lazzarini, Abdulati firmly rejected any attacks on UNRWA and denounced alternatives as abject failures. He reaffirmed Egypt's unwavering support for UNRWA, holding the international community accountable for dwindling aid. The Egyptian foreign minister stressed Israel's intransigence as a major barrier to peace and reiterated Egypt's opposition to Israel's expansionist policies and use of starvation as a weapon. He emphasized Egypt's constant efforts to keep the Rafah crossing open for aid, noting Gaza's daily need for at least 700 trucks, and urged Israel to accept the Witkoff proposal endorsed by Hamas. UNRWA Commissioner General Philippe Lazzarini has declared that famine in Gaza is now a grim reality, blaming Israel for crossing all red lines. Speaking in Cairo alongside Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati, Lazzarini called for an immediate ceasefire, stressing that detainees cannot be released without it and that this is UNRWA's top priority. He demanded the lifting of restrictions on humanitarian organizations and praised Egypt's crucial role in delivering aid. He warned that UNRWA's dire financial situation has forced program cuts and described the lack of international response as shocking. Lazzarini also commended journalists and aid workers in Gaza, highlighting the heavy price they pay to report and provide relief. Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati has held a phone call with U.S. Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff to discuss Gaza's crisis. They focused on joint efforts for a ceasefire based on the U.S. proposal. Abdulati stressed Israel's urgent need to accept the deal to reduce escalation, save Palestinian lives, allow humanitarian aid, and release detainees. He warned of Gaza's worsening humanitarian disaster, including famine, and condemned starvation as a weapon. Abdulati also briefed Witkoff on Egypt's readiness to host an international reconstruction conference post-ceasefire, aligned with the Arab Islamic plan. They additionally discussed advancing diplomatic efforts to revive Iranian nuclear talks for regional stability. The American news site Washington Examiner published an opinion piece by Foreign Minister Badr Abdullah Ati titled At a Crossroads in Gaza, Why a Ceasefire Agreement is a Defining Moment, in which he discussed the proposed plan to establish a ceasefire in Gaza. Minister Abdullah Ati pointed out that we now stand at a crucial crossroads in the war on Gaza. It could either come to an end or continue indefinitely, leading to further catastrophic consequences. He stressed that the proposed ceasefire agreement presented by Egypt and Qatar has the potential to spare the region from further bloodshed. The United Arab Emirates has expressed full support for Egypt's ongoing efforts to aid the Palestinians, prevent their displacement, and achieve an immediate ceasefire to alleviate civilian suffering. The UAE condemned Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu's statements about forcibly displacing Palestinians from Gaza, labeling them a dangerous continuation of occupation policies. The UAE's foreign ministry emphasized these calls violate international law and UN resolutions, infringing on Palestinians' inalienable right to remain and establish a sovereign state. Reaffirming its firm rejection of all displacement attempts, the UAE declared protecting Palestinian rights a moral, humanitarian and legal obligation, asserting that regional stability depends on a two-state solution consistent with international legitimacy. The Africa Down Under Conference in Perth, Australia has concluded with Egypt's first official participation, led by Petroleum and Mineral Resources Minister Karim Badawi. Egypt promoted its reformed mining investment climate, highlighting new legislation, simplified licensing, and the strengthened role of the Mineral Resources Authority to attract Australian companies. Minister Badawi held intensive talks with 9 Australian mining firms, participated in 2 main sessions on investment opportunities, and launched a roundtable titled Invest in Egypt. Discussions emphasized Egypt's incentives, robust infrastructure, and commitment to private sector partnership. He also reviewed plans for the Iqata gold mine and invited global companies to explore Egypt's vast, promising and underexplored mining potential. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli inspected the progress of the visual enhancement project for Khedivial Cairo during his tour today. The Prime Minister emphasized that the efforts to revive the areas of Khedivial Cairo and downtown aim to preserve the architectural and urban character of this historic area without altering its cultural identity. He highlighted the importance of closely following up on these projects, given that these areas represent a significant part of Egypt's history. The Egyptian National Elections Authority has firmly denied rumors on social media about postponing the 2025 parliamentary election candidacy opening. In a statement, the authority confirmed that the elections will proceed as scheduled by the Constitution and law. The board is currently preparing the procedural and timeline schedule for the electoral process. Once finalized, a press conference will announce the official call for voters, candidacy opening dates, and all election stages until results declaration. The authority urged the public to rely on official sources for accurate information and avoid spreading false rumors. Today marked the start of the trial operation of the East Nile monorail without passengers, a significant step towards the full launch of this strategic project in the near future. The East Nile monorail extends from Stadium Station in Nasser City to the Control and Operations Center in the new administrative capital, covering a length of 56.5 kilometers, includes 22 stations. The project is being implemented by the major consortium of companies, including Alstom, Orascom, and Arab contractors. Housing Minister Sharifa Shirbini announced that 6,994 housing units are currently being constructed under the presidential initiative Housing for All Egyptians in the Al-Nargis neighborhood on the 10th of Ramadan city, with the execution rate reaching 90%. The minister inspected the progress of several projects in 10th of Ramadan city and the urban expansion area, Hadai al-Ashir, stressing the importance of intensifying on-site monitoring, overcoming any obstacles, adhering to standard specifications across all work components, and meeting the scheduled timelines for project completion. Minister of Higher Education Ayman Ashur has directed the University Admissions Coordination Office to extend the registration period for Phase 3 students until Sunday evening. The minister's decision comes in response to numerous appeals from high school students who passed the second round of exams and voiced their concerns on the ministry's official page, as some of them were unable to go to their schools to collect their success certificates containing the required secret code. Petroleum and Mineral Resources Minister Karim Badawi said that Egypt and Cyprus are making significant progress on linking Cyprus' Kronos gas field to the Egyptian infrastructure, with plans to start receiving and re-exporting gas to Europe by 2027. Speaking during a visit to Nicosia, Badawi emphasized the strategic importance of the project, which would enhance Egypt's role as a regional energy hub and support Cyprus' ambitions to become a gas exporter to Europe, according to a press release by the Ministry of Petroleum. He said the initiative is being closely monitored by the leadership of both countries and benefits their mutual interests, especially in securing energy supplies for the broader region. In the sports world, Egypt took a major step towards qualifying for the 2026 FIFA World Cup with a 2-0 win over Ethiopia on Friday in their Group 7 African qualifier at Cairo International Stadium. Mohamed Salah and Omar Marmoush both scored from the penalty spot in the 40th and 45th minutes, respectively, to secure the victory. The result places Egypt top of the group on 19 points, 5 ahead of second place Burkina Faso. The two teams face off next Tuesday, and a win for Egypt would secure their qualification. Egypt yesterday in Gwangju, South Korea. The tournament features 500 male and female athletes representing 75 countries, with competitions set to continue until September 12th. That's the end of our news bulletin for this hour. Here's a quick recap of today's top stories. President Sisi reviews the progress on the universal health insurance system. Egypt reaffirms its unwavering support for UNRWA. And UNRWA Commissioner General praises Egypt's crucial role in delivering aid to the Gaza Strip. These are all the Egyptian news, but please remember to stay updated by following Q News for the latest updates. I'm Hani Saif. Thank you for joining us.